on the path of progress. The moment you start thinking that no, I have achieved a lot, that is when the decline starts. Will you be changing the sun?
Yeah, I'll change it.
Every time you control to me, that will be better. I can change from here. At the same time.
Okay.
If it is not possible, then. So basically, disability is universal. Anybody at some stage in life can become a person with disability. And the pool of persons with disability has been rapidly expanding. And there has been a lot of shift in the conception of disability. Like on one hand, we have reduced the incidence of certain communicable diseases, notably poliomyelitis, and to an extent tuberculosis, but to a large extent the non-communicable diseases, which includes cardiovascular diseases, cancers, diabetes mellitus, chronic respiratory diseases, old age-related problems, and injuries. This is increasing in society. There are projections with respect to the 100 years of independence of India, that is 2047, that at that time we will have a very, very momentous challenge of dealing with persons with disabilities and their disability issues. And it is a wake-up call. We still have 21 years to reach that milestones. So there are some experts which are very much worried and concerned that this should not happen the way Health for All by the year 2018 happened. The World Health Organization had given the call in 1978. And 22 years passed when we reached that goal in 2000. During that time, many countries had made a lot of progress and achieved significant portions and components. But India was found lacking on many parameters. Because a mid-assessment was done. This is not at all to say that India has not made progress. India has made tremendous progress in all spheres of life. And economically, we are far better off now. And so many parameters and indicators indicate. But along with that, the gap between people who have the resources and services available to them and a group of people who have limited resources and lack of services, this gap is also widening. While on one hand we have the most advanced technological products which can help the quality of life and performance of basic tasks of a person with the most severe disability. At the other extreme, we are still seeing substandard walking sticks, not optimum quality wheelchairs, and confining myself to the locomotor disability section only. So this is the stark reality. Our aim should be to provide all the persons who need assistive technology products of certain minimum standards and quality. And that is the purpose of the topic of presentation today. And World Health Organization has shared its vision of Rehabilitation 2030, and assistive technology products figure prominently in that. Next. World Health Organization had, based on inspiration from the essential drugs for patients, developed a list of essential products for persons with disabilities. They call it out of these essential products, 50 priority products, where a lot of work should be done on high priority. And these cut across different types of disabilities, not just locomotor. And there has been a lot of success in achieving development, improved quality, availability, and affordability of these essential priority assisted products. Based on the stimulus given by the World Health Organization, the Indian Council of Medical Research also developed the national list of essential assistive products, which they called NLEA. This also generated a lot of interest from the medical professionals and related industry partners to focus more on improving the quality of assistive products which are required for persons with disabilities. And I'm very glad to share that NITI Aayog supported this initiative of ICMR, and ICMR roped in me as an expert for the locomotor disability related assistive products. While we are talking about standardization, I think there is a need to define what is standardization and why it matters. Let's take back please. In technology, standardization is the process of developing and implementing agreed upon technical specifications, criteria, and protocols to ensure consistent quality, interoperability, safety, efficiency, and compatibility across products, processes, and services. This is a single sentence, very compact definition, but it conveys a lot. There are many products used by persons with disabilities which are seen available through the Amazon and such sites, developed in the developed countries of the West. But they are not affordable most of the time by people from the low and middle income countries, to which India also belongs. Yes, please. So standardization is important because if it is implemented properly, it reduces the risk. It facilitates growth. It simplifies management of disability-related issues. It fosters innovation. And in order to encourage innovation, the government of India has launched and strengthened a few existing schemes to recognize the outstanding work of innovators. And there is a National Center of Assistive Health Technology, which has been set up at the All India Institute of Medical Science. And there is active collaboration between AIIMS New Delhi, IIT Delhi, and IIT Madras. There are other institutions also which are doing wonderful work, and one of them is the Kalam Institute of Technology. In our committee, sessional committee, which is Committee 09, which deals with products for persons with disabilities and their standardization, the composition is such that we have medical experts, technology experts, institutions which are involved in technology, research and development, and also stakeholders, which means some persons with disabilities themselves. Because sitting in the air conditioned lab, most advanced lab, and being so far away and having no contact with the end user has been one of the important failures why things have not succeeded despite pumping in a lot of money and other resources. So feedback, involvement at every stage by the end users is very important. Next. So product quality and performance is very important. Many times we have seen people walking on the street using a pair of auxiliary crutches. And these crutches may not be of the optimum size when they were prescribed or purchased by the person. And this is common observation when the assistive technology products are distributed to persons with disabilities through the camp approach. Hundreds of persons with disabilities are gathered on a specified date and time and a place. And sometimes prominent political figures and other figures are requested to serve as the chief guest. And tents are erected, banners are placed, and media is invited. And the assistive technology products, whether it is crutches, walkers, or wheelchairs, these are distributed. Photographs are clicked, and next day they are projected in the newspaper. Now, in this approach, although there is a significant purpose achieved that people at one point of time at one place can be distributed these products and access for which otherwise they would have gone to many different sectors. There is a problem with that because one size does not fit all. So unless this camp is preceded by assessment of the people and followed by facilities for adjustments and repairs, the purpose is not best served. Similarly, there are other issues also that somebody may be using a wheelchair and suddenly the footrest breaks. Now, in our local community, there are very little facilities available for repair of that kind of a problem. A 10,000 rupees worth of a wheelchair can be made fully dysfunctional if there is a problem with the wheel of the wheelchair, if something goes wrong with the axle. Previously, there used to be local artisans who used to repair and mend it within the community itself, close to the doorstep of the person with disability. And the person whom it was restored with hardly any significant expenses. Next, cost reduction is always very important. You can develop beautiful, advanced, modern assistive technology products, but they prove to be very expensive because when the ultrasonic assisted walking stick for the cane was released in the market, developed in association with the IIT, the cost was found to be prohibitive. Then there are regulatory compliances which are very important. If a product is being developed, it will be acceptable to the larger number of people if it bears the stamp of the regulatory body. It is a consumer product. The consumers here are persons with disabilities. Just like you look for the product stamp, whether it is a television set or other consumer products, you also want similar kind of stamp which gives assurance of the better quality to that product. Then there are market-driven forces. Many a times we may prescribe the best particular appliance for the person with disability based upon assessment of his clinical condition and anthropometric measurement, like what size of the wheelchair will be appropriate. With that prescription, if the person goes to the marketplace, where there are sellers of those wheelchairs, the primary objective of the seller, no offense meant to anybody, is which product if sold will fetch the maximum profit margin. And if that particular size product for that particular person with disability is not available, we have not seen much effort being made by the seller to inform the distributor or the manufacturer that recently we got 3 patients with this kind of assistive technology product with this specifications. Please send it to us on priority because we don't want to keep the person with disability waiting. That kind of attitude has to be developed. The sensitivity towards the needs of person with disability needs to improve. Only then there will be a change on the ground level. Next, please. Now, how are standards developed? The process is well established. There are institutions which are regulatory. I will not permit you to go into the details. Suffice to say that in India, we have the Bureau of Indian Standards, which has a large number of sectional committees which deal with certain specified products. MHD 09 deals with assistive technology products, artificial limbs or process processes, features, etc., which are primarily products required by the hospitals of motor disability, and we deal with standardization of those products. This is in a way a mirror committee of International Standards Organization, which is an international body which sets standards which are inspirational to national committees, which act as reference point for the national committees to try and improve the standards of their products. I happen to serve as the leader of one such working group, And we developed some standards regarding the products which are specific in nature. Encouraged by our performance of that committee, the International Standards Organization requested us, that means European standards, that can you hold an international meeting in your own country where we can call people and experts from different regulatory associations of countries so that we can showcase what is the wonderful work being done by European standards. I'm very glad to say that 2 months ago, at the Indian Research Center in New Delhi, European Standards organized the 23rd meeting where experts from 7 different countries gathered, deliberated and debated. And this international consultation was spread over 5 days. And it was found to be very successful. People from the International Standards Organization located in Sweden, they also participated in person. And some other international experts could connect through the online board. Next. European standards works like that. Now this is important to understand that it was developed in 2016 and came into effect in 2017. Prior to that, it was known as ISI, Indian Standards Institution. Next. There are many members, there are many branches. Next. It is a nationwide organization with the head office being in Delhi. Next. This is important to understand that the International Standards Organization has a strong emotional connect with India. India had been one of the founder members of ISO, and ISO was formed when India became independent in the year 1947. So it is as young as we are as an independent nation. Next. This is the logo of European standards. You will see on many places. It has its own website, which has a lot of information. Next. Now, recently, it has established a chair, BIS standardization chair at IIMS in the year 2022. Next. This is to encourage research and development, and academic institutions of excellence are those able to conduct related research and develop new products or improve on the existing products. There is also a National Institute of Training for Standardization under the Bureau of Indian Standards. It is located close to Delhi and Noida. Next. BIS is the founder member, as I have already told you. Next. I had the pleasure of visiting 3 different countries representing India during some of the important meetings of IMPAIRED. And one particular product or document was developed by European Standards, which is a vendor, and this was very much appreciated. This relates to general principles and standardization of assistive technology products. Now, there are several challenges. It is not so easy that today you form a committee and then develop a standard or improve on the existing standard. The challenges include that there is by and large lack of policy framework. There is fragmentation. Many people are working in a fragmented way spread across the country in different institutions. There is inadequate funding and investment in this particular area because the fruits are not born in short duration. For any research and development work, there are a lot of issues. Yes. Then there are issues related to market and supply chain issues. You may develop in your laboratory something wonderful, which is bound to solve some specific problem. But if there are no market forces which are ready to produce in large enough numbers so that it can reach the people who need it most, the cost of the product will not come down and it will not become affordable. There are distribution challenges. Then there are data scarcity. We don't know accurately how many people with what kind of disability and of what degree of severity affecting which part of body are there in a particular district. You aside the country. Country is too large. District is the unit of administration. We don't have accurate data. Next, please. Then there is an acute shortage of skilled workforce. If you look around yourself at the training institution, you will hardly ever find sufficient number of people who are interested in this area of work. And there are very few training programs. If there is no training being imparted at university levels on these topics, how will people further be motivated and take up as a future career? Then there is inadequate training. Awareness in the masses is also very less. See, unless and until the person with disability themselves or elderly people, because there is a lot of overlap between the needs of person with disabilities and needs of elderly people. Unless they educate and demand that we are not satisfied with the presently available assisted technology products, there will not be significant shake-up. You have to educate. See, when the electricity goes out in your area, people educate. They educate, that is why the local body tries to restore the electricity as soon as possible. Similarly with water supply, similarly with transport, food distribution. But this particular rehabilitation related area, people don't educate. They are so forgiving and they have attitude of acceptance. कि चलो जो मिल रहा है वही बहुत है. There is no insurance की ये मिलेगा. Next. Costs are high, I have already told you. Next. There are very few industrial houses which are willing to spend money on these areas. Because these are not glamorous. Results are not in short duration. Then there is a social stigma involved with the acceptance of some of the assisted technology products. And many times, if you know what is the design of the very useful assisted technology product that some Western institution, whether it is Massachusetts for technology or other developed, it may not be exactly applicable to Indian situation. You have to modify, you have to customize only that. Then body size also differs and varies a lot. So it has to be adapted according to the body size. Next. International standards play a very important role, I have already told you. And India refers to those standards very often. And that is a kind of a benchmark. Next. Now, there are many models of development of assisted technology products. Next. Challenges I have already told you. There is a lack of policy. Next. Next. From time to time in the Parliament of India, questions are asked by the honorable members of Parliament to bring into focus the issues related to persons with disabilities and assistive technology products. And this also galvanizes the concerned ministries and the departments that look, there is a start question in the Parliament. You have to submit the response based on the accurate data within the next 3-4 days or 1 week. So this is how things start moving. There is greater focus, sense of urgency. But this has to happen more often. Till date, India has celebrated more than 75 years of its independence. Every year for the last many years, on 3rd of December, we are celebrating International Day of Persons with Disabilities. But still, the issues related to assistive technology products are not the central focus for the theme. A common newspaper will not cover it on the front page. Newspaper with very wide circulation. Next. From time to time, the standards are amended. Whatever Bureau of Indian Standards ranks the standards for a particular product, these are mandatorily reviewed after 5 years. And if any changes or corrections are required, these are made and notified again. Recently, these standards were modified. Yes. Although I agree with the hand on my heart that India has made tremendous progress in the disability sector and with respect to assistive technology products, The gap between the world standard and the Indian standard is still very wide. And we have to bring this in. We have to reduce the cost without reducing the quality of the assistive technology products. Next, please. With these words, I would like to thank you all for patient listening. I once again extend my greetings to Madam Lata for inviting me to this place, and I convey my best wishes to this institution which is doing wonderful. Thank you. Jai Hind.